What's up, everyone? We got some wings from Wingstop. Got some classic go-to flavors for me, at least, is garlic parmesan and lemon pepper, and then also got a side of Cajun fries as well, and some ranch sauce. All right, so yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so let's talk about today's topic. So this series is called BNA, which is the acronym for Brand New Animal, and this anime series premiered earlier a couple months ago, only for the first 6 episodes, and recently they released the next 6 episodes. So the series is a total of 12 episodes, and it was all released on Netflix. Oh yeah, BNA. If I mentioned BNA stands for Brand New Animal, if I forgot to mention that. And of course, I'm a big fan of Studio Trigger, especially Gurren Lagann, and among some other works. But Gurren Lagann's definitely my favorite series, no doubt. So the first, I'm gonna be talking about the first 4 episodes. Probably gonna split each section into 4 episodes reviews. So in the first opening scene of the first episode, we see our main character Michiru Kagemori. She's a tanuki beastman, and she's being pursued by these beast hunters. And eventually, she's saved by Marie Itami. Yes, Marie Itami, and she's kind of like a little shady character, but she saves Michiru, and eventually she takes her back to Anima City. And when they arrive, Michiru is entranced by the whole city, and it's celebrating its 10-year anniversary festival. And in the midst of this, festival going on, of course there might be some shady characters, right? So eventually, Michiru's wallet gets stolen, and in pursuing her thief, she's interrupted by a bombing in the main square of the city. And eventually, I believe some large structures are about to fall on Michiru, and Shiro Ugami, who's a wolf beastman, comes to rescue. And eventually, the two of them, further down this episode, find the real perpetrators who caused this bombing in Anima City at this time. So, unfortunately, they find out that there were beastmen mercenaries hired to sabotage this festival, and Shiro Ugami starts beating them up relentlessly, and as a wolf, right, he maybe going too far, going to the point of maybe killing them. And then eventually Michiru, stops Shiro and displays some of her powers as well, and telling Shiro that she was actually once human before. And then moving on to episode 2. Michiru is told by Marie Itami to go to meet Grand Grandma in Rabbit Village. And Grand Grandma is pretty much, if you think about it, she's pretty like a female mafia boss. And I guess, people, sell goods through her and stuff like that. And eventually, she learns that Grand Grandma's taking care of these orphan kids, and Michiru grows fond of them and teaches them how to read and write. And eventually, much to her dismay, she finds out that Grand Grandma, being the shady character that she is, she's actually just planning to sell off these orphans to pay off her debt to this gang. And Michiru and these orphans are trapped in some container, and Michiru displays some of her powers. Oh yes, I forgot to mention. So, yeah, Michiru unleashes her power and breaks herself and these orphans from this container. And I believe Michiru's powers, she can enlarge her arms, so she has strength within her arms. I'm not sure later in the series, maybe she can do a full transformation, but we'll see. And then as a result, Shiro and some other policemen come by to the scene later on, and she tells Shiro that she's disappointed that she didn't come help sooner. And then she eventually gets back her ID, as I mentioned before, and shows her student ID when she was in human form. And she grows to dislike beastmen and their lack of disregard for human life, right? But in this sense, this series brings up a lot more issues as well. Even though beastmen, they're more animal-like to their nature, right? Typically, animals, in the wild, the predator just rips apart the prey. But in this sense, grandma was trying to sell off these orphans, but human beings can be just as scary as animals, if not scarier. Sometimes the dark part of the internet and web and stuff like that, and dark individuals who sell drugs and they do human trafficking as well. And in first world countries, we're not really aware of that. Like in the U.S., of course, there's definitely incidents of violence and abuse at home and stuff like that may be thrown under the rug. But definitely human trafficking and all these dark world topics definitely occur. So human beings, they're just as scary as like these beastmen and animals as well. So yeah, humans can be animals if you think about it. So after this whole ordeal, Michiru vows to change Anima City, but at this point in time, she's not really having any interest in returning anytime soon. And obviously her main objective is to return to being human. Okay, let's get some more tea here. Oh my gosh, just came up with my YouTube suggestions, like videos, and I came across this great YouTube channel. I believe it's called First Take. So pretty much, if you're really a fan of Japanese music and like anime songs particularly, this channel features a lot of Japanese artists who do a lot of openings for animes or endings as well. And we get to see them pretty much raw singing acoustic versions of their songs, and it's very great. And I was watching recently, I'm not quite sure what her name is, but if you watch Boku no Hero Academia, it's the ending song called Shout Baby. I forgot which ending it is, but great song nonetheless. And she, in the first couple minutes of the video, she sings a cappella, so there's no instruments. You can see her raw talent and raw voice, just singing. And you can really tell she sings from right here in the heart, emotion and stuff like that. And then later on, she has a little guitar crew, 2 guys, jamming on the guitar. And it's a great video. Okay, moving on to episode 3. So Barbara Rose is the mayor of Anima City, and she asks for help in protecting the medical center from a bombing attack. And obviously Michiru is kind of hesitant, but she, decides to offer her help. And in doing so, she meets some doctors at the medical center, and they seem super friendly. And Michiru maybe has hope in believing in the medical center to help cure her illness, to returning her back to human. But eventually an explosion still goes off, and we discover that it's an inside job by 2 of these doctors in the medical center. And Michiru is eventually taken to hostage, and then once again Shiro Ugami comes to the rescue. Then, so episode 4, Michiru comes across Nina, who's a dolphin beastman, and her father, is pretty much a mafia boss, and she happened to see her posting a lot of pictures on social media, and it was relatively close to her location, and so she decides to meet up with her. And then Nina is really intrigued by humans, and eventually I don't know how they get to this human party, but yeah, Michiru and Nina go to this human party, and Michiru is somehow able to kind of go back to her human form, and I think at this party they're wearing masks and stuff like that. And Nina is warmly welcomed by these people at the party, and eventually Nina, I think she accidentally transforms into her dolphin beast form, and obviously humans and beastmen mostly don't really get along, but these people at the party warmly welcomed her with open arms. And eventually, when Michiru, doesn't have her eyes on Nina for a quick second, one of these girls at the party throws Nina into a fish tank, and probably just wanted to use her as a form of entertainment. But I believe dolphins aren't actually mammals, and they don't have gills to breathe. So, in a sense, Nina was actually suffocating. And obviously, Michiru reveals herself as a beastman as well, and uses her powers to break her out of the fish tank. And both of them just go back to Anima City, away from this party. Even though Nina said that even though Nina experienced this traumatic experience, she said it was kind of worthwhile, interacting with humans, even though it was quite dangerous. So yeah, that's pretty much summing up episodes 1 through 4. But honestly, okay, after watching the first 6 episodes of BNA, it's not like anything too amazing yet, but I haven't seen the latter part of the last 6 episodes, which recently came out on Netflix. So, I'll probably get around to watching all of them and give you a full in-depth review. So yeah, that's it for today's video. Thank you for watching. Peace.